So to achieve this, we have opened our After Effects, and first thing we do is we import our screenshot. We have imported the screenshot. Let's create a new composition. We'll go to composition, new composition, and we will set it as 1920 by 1080 60 frames per second, and we'll name it as main comp. Now what we are going to do is we are going to drag our screenshot down, and we'll hit Control Shift Alt H, then we'll just push it a bit down. Okay, so this is how this thing is gonna look. So we'll also create a solid, and let's keep the color as like this. So this is gonna be our background. We'll rename it as BG. Push it down, and we'll turn this layer on. So now you can see we have our screenshot, we have our background. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to create different shapes for these elements so that we can show the animation in it. So that will grab the rectangle tool and change the fill to any color. That actually doesn't matter. And we'll try to match it. Now if you press Control Shift Home, Control Alt Home, it moves the anchor point to the center. And then what we are going to do is we will add some roundness. So we'll click on this shape layer, we'll type roundness over here and change the roundness like this. This one looks perfect to me. So this is our shape layer, and we'll rename it as matte, and we'll copy our screenshot and change this track matte to alpha matte to our matte layer. Okay, so this is gonna be our shape. So just to make it visible, what we are going to do is we are going to again grab our rectangle tool and create a rectangle like this and make sure it matches the background color. So this, let's rename it as fill and place it under that. Now you can see that we can only see our current tab. Now we'll click the matte and the screenshot and press Ctrl Shift C, and we'll pre-comp it. Let's name it shape 1. Go inside shape 1, and here we can see we have. Now if we go inside main comp and turn off this layer, you can see that all our shapes are gone. So when we go inside shape 1, this is how it looks like. Got it? Now how we are going to create it is we'll go to shape 1 in the project panel and create duplicates. So this is shape 2. Click both shape 2 and 3, and here go inside shape 2, and we need to change the matte's position that it goes to the other. I'm roughly matching it. If you want, you can match it properly. So this is our shape 2. Again go to our main comp. We'll go to shape 3 and we'll change the matte's position. Okay. So now we can see that all our shapes are here. Now first thing what we are going to do is we are going to create a new camera. So this is just a simple 2-node camera. We are going to click OK, and you can see the camera layer has been created. But camera in After Effects only works on 3D layers. So let's make all the layers 3D except for the BG. It's not work on it for now. So now we'll again create a new layer. It should be a null object, and we'll name it as cam control. And we are going to parent the camera to the cam control. And now we'll start with our animation. As you can see, we have taken a 3-second duration over here. What we are going to do is we're going to go to 30 frames. Let's also make sure to make your camera control layer as 3D. And now we are going to hit position and XY rotation here. And then we'll go to 30 frames and we'll change the X rotation and the Y rotation. Also we'll change subtle placement like this, and then we'll select all those keyframes, and then we're going to press F9 to easy ease. We'll go to graph editor, make sure that the speed graph is selected, then some sort of a effect like this. Okay, now if you play it play like this, plays very smooth. Okay, now I want a subtle change. For that, what I have to do is I need to parent all these layers to my screenshot. Now I'll change its scale from this much a bit big so that we can show some emphasis. And again, we are going to easy ease those keyframes and we'll change it like this. Correct? Looks good. Now as we have this much, we also want some animation. In our reference video, we have seen that these elements goes up. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on shape 1, hit position, create a keyframe and go to 30 frames, and we need to pull it up. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to basically change its Z position value. Okay. So now we are again going easy ease this one by clicking F9. We'll go to our graph editor. So now we'll go still here, and then like next 20 frames, just copy the initial keyframe and paste it over here so that it creates an illusion like it goes up and then it goes back. If you want, you can probably a bit more that illusion that it goes up and goes down. Okay, now we're going to do the same this. So create this, we'll create a keyframe, go 30 frames from here, create another keyframe, push it, and if you want the exact value, what you can do is you can just copy this dimension value and here, then go to 20 frames, copy and paste it. We're going to easy ease this one, and okay, let's see how the graph looks like. So it looks like something like this. Change it some. I'm going to put some sort of different value. This is how I'm going to keep it. We'll go position keyframe over here. Put it something like this, and I'm going to put this. Okay. So that's how it's going up, down, up, down. And we are going to repeat the same with this. So why don't you do one thing? While on this video, if you are on it, you can pause the video and go and do it yourself. And then again come back and match whether you have done it correctly or not. Done with that? Let's move forward. So I have created the last one. In 10 frames from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all these keyframes, the n value of the camera control, and paste it over here. Then we have some sort of like we use 30 frames. So how many frames we have? We have 40 frames. So if we have 40 frames, why don't we just start from here and then the very last something. Now you can see that this frame is not looking like the initial one. That is because if you remember, we have created this initial scale value for our screenshot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click both of these keyframes. We'll hit Control C, Control V, and then right click on the keyframe assisted time reverse keyframe. That's why you don't have to manually copy paste it all the time. I want a subtle change because this looks very flat. There is no movement on the screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably change the Z value a bit. Again, change it. Then we'll X rotation, Y rotation. So that looks somewhat like this. I want it to be a bit more X side. This is how things should be. And then we've created this. Now what I'm going to do is now I'm going to beautify this. And how I'm going to beautify this? We'll create a new object and we'll create an adjustment layer. And what I'm going to do is we'll place it just below the shape layers. We'll go to effects and preset. We'll search for fastbox blur. This fastbox blur over here. Initially the blur radius should be 0, and after 30 frames let's make it to some like this is too much. Make it to 3.5. So there's just subtle difference. Also add curves to this, and curves value should be initially it should be this, and going up we want this thing to be a bit down. So there's nothing but a subtle change, just a subtle change. Create an emphasis on this, and we'll ease these. We'll copy these keyframes. We'll again paste it, and then as we have done before, we'll time reverse this keyframe. Okay. Now, for each shape layer, we need a drop shadow. How we are going to create a drop shadow? We'll search for drop shadow effect, and then we'll try to match it. So now in this video, I'm going to assume that the light source is somewhere over here. So light is falling like this. So I'll adjust the direction, and then the distance is currently 5. We'll change the distance to 0, and softness will create 2 keyframes for distance and softness. Go over here, and now we'll change the distance to somewhat like this, softness this, and let's keep the opacity as 30 or probably 25, and that should be okay. Then it should again copy the initial keyframes and paste it, and can easy okay. So now what we are going to do is we're going to copy these keyframes and paste it over here, and again paste it over here for our other 2 shapes. But what you have to do is you have to change the direction for it. this one, 25, the direction, the distance bit. Then for this one, we'll clear it as 25. We'll push the distance somewhat like 30 and this. So as you have seen, this gives you that feel. Okay. Now I want more animation in this, so I'm going to animate this one as well. And how I'm going to animate this one? I'm going to go inside shape one, then here comes the new stuff. So for this, I'm going to create a new shape layer, cover it, and let's name it as fill. Goes below the mat. Copy screenshot, paste it. It doesn't have to go below the mat. It just have to stay above your main screenshot layer. Yep. Now we'll add a mask in this. By using this rectangle tool. Okay. And for mask feather, press F and change the X value to like 15. And we'll go to main comp. Starts from here. So path, and then go to main comp, which is like 30 frames. And then mask path should be here, and the initial frame, it should be like this. So it feels like it's coming like this one. Okay. We're going to easy ease this one. We'll graph editor and set something like this. That like this. Okay. So that's how we're going to animate the shape. Then again, we'll copy this thing. We'll remove the mask path and change the mask like this. And we are going to change its opacity. So now I want the opacity to get revealed from here. So I'll hit T, turn the opacity as 0, and here opacity 100, and we have achieved this cute animation. Now how I'm going to do is I'm going to create, if you see actually, to remove the fill layer, you can see there's this thing, a number. So I want a counter in it. So I've created an empty text layer. I'll create a text layer and at 99.99, and we'll select on the text layer, go to effect, expression control, slider control. Now inside effects, inside text, we'll add a script, and the script is what I'm going. So this is gonna be your this thing, and now if you see, it creates a value. So go to the initial keyframe, put the slider as 0, and we'll go to the final keyframe and we'll hit 9999, gives the 99%. See, so it's gonna create the counter. Okay. Now the only thing which is remaining is we need to match the position somewhere here, turn on our fill, and there you are. Now go inside income, and if we play, this is how it looks. Okay. So we're going to create the same stuff for this thing, shape 2. Why don't you do one thing? It's again a homework. You can try it on your own. Come back and check whether you have done it correctly or not, as you have learned. So here's a different trick, as the text over here is a bit different. So there will be a different expression that we are going to be using. But if you want, you can go and try it on your own. Come back and check whether you are able to do it or not. So shape 2, we have added our fill layer. And now what we are going to do is we are going to create it in the same way. We are going to add a mask over here, and then go to our main comp, start from here, then add a mask path. Let's change the mask for the X comp as 15. Will main comp. It was basically 34 layer, 30 frames, and then the previous one should be like this. Make it ease and change the graph editor like this. That's how it's okay. Well, again, be copying this, then we'll create another mask. This gives you some idea about this thing. That should be like 15 frames. These gonna reveal. Now, for the days text, what I'm going to do is from shape 1, I'm going to copy this, shape 2, then paste it over here. Have to adjust the position. Again, the same thing, turn off the fill layer, and it's almost accurate. And now, what we are going to do is basically, if you have guessed it, we're going to change the expression and the source text from this one to one. Okay. Have to add one space, and it's roughly looking like this. Have to have the keyframes over here. Start here at 0, and here it should be reading 7. Changes from 0 to 7. Okay. Now we'll go to shape 3. What we can do is basically we can copy this, paste it over here. As it has the same thing, we'll just change the position here to here, and then same thing for this. You can also copy the fill layer and paste it over here, change the position to here. Okay. So we have our mask. Then again, copy it, paste it, change its opacity and like 15 frames. We'll change the opacity to 0 and then create a keyframe, change it as 1. F9, and this one, as we have already copied, the graph editor value is there. Go inside main comp, should create something like this. And that's how it start from there actually. Adjust the keyframes according. And I'll make sure to come up with new videos every single week. So thanks for watching. I'll check you on the other side. After everything is done, I have created the subtle glow effect, which is mostly like deep glow. I don't have that effect with me right now. So I have created something of my own, and if you also don't have it, you can also create it in the same way. I thought of creating a different video for this, but for this one, you can obviously have it. So how I have created it, basically I have created a copy of my main screenshot and copied it 5 times, and the opacity for all of that is as follows: 70, 35, 25, 15 and 10. It has different scale values. So the first one and the second one are pretty much the same, and the third one is a bit larger, and the fourth one is a bit larger, and the largest one is the last one. Okay, so the main difference, key difference, how I have created it is basically I have added these effects. So I have added a fill, I have added directional blur. You can check the values over here. So it's like 500 and 500, and the key difference is like one is at 0 degree, one is at 90 degrees, so that we can cover both the aspects of horizontal and vertical directions. I have added a vibrance and I have added curves for the first one. For the second layer, it's pretty much the same as first layer. The only key difference is the fill is white to give that glowy thing, glowy effect, and it doesn't have any vibrance to it. Also, vibrance was only 50 and saturation was 0 in the first one. For the third one, I have used another fill, and I usually take fill from my image or whatever element I have on screen. So that's the fill, and I have added another effect as CC Repeatile, which has a value of, as we only have the right side and the up direction over here, so I have added values of 200 and 145, and the directional blur is sort of reduced. This you have to check whenever you are creating an effect for yourself. You have to check how this is looking. You can obviously tweak these values. I have added the vibrance value as 75 and saturation. I have added a bit of saturation over here as 23. Curves remain the same. This is the curve graph, and for this one, it's actually the same copy of our fourth layer. It's actually the same. It's the only thing is it has a larger scale. For the last one, it's like I have added a different fill. I usually keep it a bit darker, and the directional blur values are a bit reduced, like 200 and 100. The only thing is, I mean, it has very large scale, so really better to keep it. You can also check if you don't need, you can probably omit this. I thought of keeping it, so I kept it. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you followed along the entire tutorial, you should be having something like this with you right now. I hope this video was helpful to you, and make sure to hit the like button and subscribe button. Do let me know about your thoughts in the comment section, and tell me what all videos I can make. I know this is an extended tutorial, so I hope this video was helpful. So make sure to hit the subscribe button so that I come up with new videos every week. And until then, I'm signing off. Bye bye.